Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, the state tournament is here in girls basketball, as well as on the mat. In the Coach's Corner, meet the man who has led Mount Vernon boys basketball to a 14-2 start to the season. Plus, our Athlete of the Week features a Westfield girls basketball star and her biggest fan.
He's like, our little team mascot in a way. He's always just making other people happy, no matter the circumstances.
Everyone is excited for an all-new Zone Extra right now.
Hey, good evening to you and welcome to the Zone Extra, everybody. I'm Anthony Calhoun. What a great week of high school action with multiple winter sports entering postseason competition in the Coach's Corner tonight. His Marauders are 14-2 on the season and winners of 8 straight games. Mount Vernon boys basketball coach Ben Rhodes joins us for a great conversation tonight. Plus, she's a top high school basketball player in the country. And he's her biggest fan. Olivia Ray has the special bond between Westfield's Alyssa Crockett and her brother Caleb in our Athlete of the Week feature. And you don't want to miss the latest edition of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA. Now, let's take a look at this week in high school sports. It's sectional week in girls basketball action tipped off Tuesday night across the state. At Warren Central, it was a close one all night between the host Warriors and Lawrence North. In the end, it's the Wildcats who picked up the 2-point victory and advanced in sectional 13 now. Second-ranked Franklin had no problems in the opening round. The Grizzly Cubs knocked off Shelbyville by 37 and will meet Center Grove next week. And in the state's toughest sectional at Westfield, it was a mudsock rivalry in the opening round as 7th-ranked Fishers took on Hamilton Southeastern. A strong game from junior Olivia Smith helps lead the Tigers to a 10-point victory. Let's take a look at the semifinal matchups in Sectional 8 at Westfield. Boy, it's a day into here. In the first contest, it's Fishers taking on the host, the Rocks. That will be followed by a rematch of last year's sectional title game between Carmel and Noblesville. The two winners will then face off for the sectional championship coming up on Saturday night. Meanwhile, in boys basketball, we're entering the final month, folks, of the regular season. The boys tourney draw takes place in 2.5 weeks on February the 20th with sectional play beginning March the 1st. We saw plenty of great action, folks, by the way, on the hardwood last Friday over at Lawrence North. The Wildcats put together a strong performance and knocked off Center Grove by 16. In the Hoosier Crossroads here, Brownsburg went on the road and picked up an impressive conference win over Zionsville. The Dogs have won 6 of their last 7. And in Class 3A, it was a showdown here, a top 10 showdown between Bishop Retard and Brebeuf. And this one was all Braves. They get the 24-point victory. And in the MIC, a top 10 clash between Carmel and Ben Davis. After trailing by 16, the Giants rally. This game ends up going to overtime in the extra period. A late Hounds free throw breaks the tie, and the Carmel Greyhounds win a thriller by a point in this one from Friday night. Now, let's take a look at the Class 4A top 5 rankings in boys basketball. You got Chesterton number 1, Fishers number 2. You got Carmel there 3. Cathedral, those Irish there, they're in 4th, and then you see there the 5th team as far as ranking. Tech there, they come in 5th this week. Speaking of Cathedral and Tech, last week, folks, the city championship game between those two teams ended with less than a minute to go after tempers flared following an intentional foul. Well, 3 days later, a much better scene as the two programs once again took the floor at Tech for a conversation as well as a celebration of Cathedral's city championship. And both coaches tell us this was something important for everyone and a way to turn a negative into something positive.
The kids did a great job on Monday night, both sides of getting things resolved. And I think that was the most important thing about Thursday night, was being able to show, conflict resolution, how sometimes you make mistakes and you can let them linger on or you can try to solve them. But I think it's important for the kids. Some of these kids, had waited 4 years for that opportunity and for that moment. And so for them to have that opportunity to take pictures and to cut down the nets, and, you know, like again, I said, most importantly, we're learning things as adults and as the students.
It was the right thing to do. It was for the kids. It was about tradition and the historic city championship tournament. So the kids, you know, was real receptive to it.
I love that right there. It was great to see those programs coming together, all for a great cause right there, and positive things there with those two programs. Okay, in the pool tonight, sectional week is here. Sectionals are scheduled to last through Saturday, folks. Although weather may push some of the action to early next week, the state finals will take place next weekend at the natatorium on the campus of IUPUI. And in wrestling, several Central Indiana schools they bring home sectional hardware from the opening day of the IHSA State Tournament. Congrats to Brownsburg, Center Grove, Carmel, Warren Central, Cathedral, Delta, Hamilton Heights, Roncalli, and Columbus East. Up next on the mat is the regional round on Saturday. That will be followed by semi-states a week later, and then the state finals the weekend of February the 18th. And in football news tonight, a coaching change. How about this at one of the Central Indiana's most successful programs? John RODENBERG here is leaving Roncalli. In 2 seasons with the Royals, he led the program to a 25-2 record, including a Class 4A state championship in 2020. RODENBERG will head back to Cincinnati and become the head coach at Indian Hill High School, the best to coach there. And speaking of Roncalli, star quarterback here, Aiden Leffler. How about this? Announced this week that he will play next season at Ball State. Leffler leaves Roncalli as the school's all-time leading in completions, completion percentage, passing yards, and touchdowns. In his senior season, folks, he threw for over 2,300 yards and 27 touchdowns while running for over 500 yards and 11 more TDs. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to Coach New, picking up a big-time player there to play there at Ball State. All right, time for a break, folks. We have much more ahead here tonight on the Zone Extra. Glad you're hanging with us tonight. Up next, it's time for the Coach's Corner. His Marauders are one of the most exciting teams in the state this year. Can't wait to to catch up with Mount Vernon boys basketball coach Ben Rhodes. It'll be a lot of fun there. And still ahead here tonight, he is a number 20's biggest fan, and their unique bond has helped our athlete of the week excel both on and off the court. Our Olivia Ray introduces you to Alyssa and Caleb Crockett. That's coming up.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. The Coach's Corner, presented by Junk King.
All right, welcome back here to the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Time now for our Coach's Corner. His team is off to a 14-2 start to the season and currently sits on top of the Hoosier Heritage Conference standings. Please welcome to the Zone Extra tonight, Mount Vernon boys basketball head coach Ben Rhodes joins us here on the show. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time, my friend, to join us here on the Zone Extra. And wow, you know, we talk so much about Mount Vernon, we talk a lot of times about the football, what they're doing on the football field, but what a difference you're making now on the basketball court. Take us through this. What has been the difference with this team this year off to this great start?
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. I think one of the big differences has been we've got 4 or 5 guys right now that have been playing for 3 straight years. And when they were younger, sophomores and juniors, they kind of took their lumps. They've got some good experience over the last couple of years. We were fortunate enough to win the sectional last year. And I think football really had to do with it at our school this year. With football winning the state, we have some football players on the basketball team. I think that's kind of brought an energy to our program, which has been very positive.
I love it. As we're taking a look at some of the video here of your players here during practice, what are some of the strengths of this team that really stands out about the Marauders right now?
I'd say we have really good athleticism with the twins, and we have some other players that are really athletic with Ray Wells, who just committed to Marion for football, Avery Williams and Cooper Galley. Those guys have all played for 3 years with us now. So, I mean, just the way that they come together on the court, and they're good friends on and off the court. And I always think that's a good thing. And we just got guys that know their roles right now, and they're accepting them. And, you know, it's led to some good things up to this point in the season.
You got to love it. 14-2 on the season, and the job you're doing is just outstanding right now. When you look at this team and knowing the schedule you have, The postseason will be here before you know it. From the schedule you've taken on this season, how much do you believe that's going to help you guys as you get ready for sectionals that will be here soon?
Well, I mean, I think schedule's a big deal. You know, one of the things when I came and I talked to the athletic department about it, I wanted to try to give us a top 30 schedule every year. And this year we've picked up Zionsville, and we play Westfield, and we play Fishers and the Hamilton Southeastern. We play a lot of teams that I think are really preparing us. And, you know, that competition every day is really good for us, and our conference is really good too, but trying to beef up the non-conference schedule was big, because I think the more we play against those guys, those are some of the teams we'd face in the regional if we're fortunate enough to get there.
Yeah, as you see on the screen there, the upcoming schedule for you guys, you see it there: Mooresville, Buff, Beech Grove, New Powell, then Yorktown as well. So here you are in your 4th season there with Mount Vernon. I want to ask you, obviously you're having a lot of fun coaching this team. What led you there to Mount Vernon?
Well, actually, I was at Ben Davis with Mark James. I was at Franklin Central with him, and then I went to Ben Davis when he took the job. And, you know, Mount Vernon just opened up, and actually the same year, Mike Kirshner left Ben Davis and football coach at Mount Vernon. And when the basketball job opened, Coach Kirshner called me, and Coach James said, hey, you really need to look at that. And it's a great school system because we're growing, and it still has that small town feel, the Indiana feel, and that's what I really like, being from a small town myself. So, you know, I've just been drawn there, and it's been a great experience, and, you know, I look forward to many more years there building up our program and our school.
You got to love it. So, hey, I know you got some talented players on your team. You got some twins as well who are pretty big time. I mentioned they're going off to IUPUI, the Gerard brothers here. Take us through those guys and how special they are.
Well, I've been very fortunate to coach a lot of players, and them especially at Mount Vernon. They're really great kids on and off the court. They're coachable, they're gym rats, and they're competitive. They're really, but at the same time, they want to win, and they want to do what it takes to win. And they both average about 14 or 15 points a game, but they're also our number 1 and 2 assist leaders on the team. So they've never been the ones about personal accolades. They want our team to do well. And I've always, you know, kind of stressed to them that if our team does well, then, you know, the personal things will come at the time. Mm-hmm. And they've been really bought into that. Great family. And I just think I'm very fortunate to have had them, and Mount Vernon's fortunate to have had them the last couple of years.
Coach, well, I totally agree with you on that, and congratulations to you and the job you're doing there with the Marauders, and best of luck, my friend, the rest of the way, and who knows, hope you guys can make a run to play in the Fieldhouse for a state championship.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
Okay, no problem. All right, it's Coach Rhodes there with Mount Vernon basketball, the best of them. We're going to take a timeout. Still ahead here. Much more tonight on the Zone Extra. Our athlete of the week is essentially a walking double-double. Alyssa Crockett is headed to Michigan next year and can't wait for her biggest fan to cheer her on in college. The story next. Plus, we reveal our play of the week. That's coming up.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Westfield's girls basketball is gearing up for what many consider the toughest sectional in the state. Tomorrow they'll face number 7 Fishers in the semifinals, but the 6th-ranked Rocks have a secret weapon in the stands. Our Olivia Ray introduced us to the Westfield superfan that's been inspiring not only his big sisters, but the entire high school hoops community.
We are the Crockett family. I'm Bill.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Aubrey. Cameron.
Alyssa. And this is Kayla. Say hello. Say hi.
Hello, there you go.
Like a true Central Indiana family, the Crockett's eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. So it's no surprise that their firstborn is ranked among the nation's top 50 seniors by ESPN. And honestly, it's hard to outshine Alyssa when she takes the court. But her little brother, Caleb, gives her a run for her money, and by simply being his sister's biggest fan.
Yeah.
He's always the first one once I come out of the locker room. He's always there, cheering me on, giving me a hug right away. You know, he keeps everyone going, you know. Everyone comes out from a game, and you're not always the happiest. So just seeing him really lights you up.
13-year-old Caleb is the oldest Crockett boy. He has Down syndrome and is largely nonverbal, but he makes his voice heard when it comes to hoops and his favorite player.
Caleb is a super fan. He cheers for anybody, doesn't matter who it is. Home team, away team. He loves being around people.
You know, he's like, you know, our little team mascot in a way. He's always just making other people happy, no matter the circumstances. Always cheering, always doing whatever it takes, and you know, looking at him in stands motivates me to do better and keep rolling.
Caleb has brought that spark day in and day out, only missing about 3 of Alyssa's high school games, which in turn kept his sister's next stop in her career pretty close to home. Being the oldest sibling, it's definitely hard to go away from that. So I knew I didn't want to go somewhere too far. So 4 hours was definitely my max, and Michigan's just around that, you know, which is a little hard to think about sometimes. But it was like a family, and they all accepted him very, very well.
Been up there a couple times, and Caleb has already acclimated himself into that family as well. You know, he gives them hugs just like he gives us hugs here in Central Indiana. And those Caleb Crockett hugs bring a little luck and a lot of motivation to everyone that he embraces. Olivia Ray, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
What a great story there. Thank you, Olivia. Time for a break, but still more to come your way tonight on the Zone Extra. Up next, the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
All right, we're back here on the Zone Extra. Now it's time for Ask the Commissioner, where we take your questions to IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Here's this week's question, folks. Since the time you were a high school athlete, what do you think has changed the most about high school sports?
Well, I think the sport itself probably hasn't changed a whole lot. I mean, you still put your uniform on that has your school's name on it, and you work with the coach, and you have particular things that you're trying to accomplish through a game plan for a contest or whether you're running a race. But what has changed so much around it is the outside influences around sport, whether it be the social media, whether it be how collegiate coaches recruit student athletes today, adults getting involved in student athletes that aren't necessarily pure at art. They're looking at self-gain when they try to influence a student athlete. And so I think there are so many things that are outside this creating noise for student athletes that can be problematic. But at the end of the day, the participation on a team, I think, is very similar to what it was in 1981 when I graduated high school.
1981. How about that? Hey, thanks again to the commissioner. Always love hearing from him. If you have a question for the commissioner, all you got to do is see the information on the screen right there. And who knows, your question may be right here on the Zone Extra. Now, let's see our play of the week. Clinton Central facing Clinton Prairie. This three-pointer by Clinton Central's Kendall Davidson gives her 1,000 career points, making her the first player to reach that milestone in program history. A special moment as she's recognized for the accomplishment. Congratulations to Kendall. We want to see your best plays every week too, folks. If you got a play of the week, information on the screen right there. Let us know about it. And who knows, your play of the week could appear right here on the Zone Extra. Mighty TV, Channel 23 is your local home for high school sports. Coming up tomorrow night, a doubleheader of action from Westfield. First up is the host, Rocks, taking on Fishers at 6 o'clock. That's followed by Carmel and defending sectional champ Noblesville. You can see all the action live on Mighty TV, Channel 23, coming up tomorrow, starting at 6 o'clock. Of course, it's a big night of girls sectional action all across Central Indiana. Our Olivia Ray, she's going to be live at 5 and 6 from Warren Central. Plus, we will have all the great action and scores from around the area on the Zone. Now, let's take a look at some of the sectional games we'll have coming your way on the Zone. Coming up tomorrow night, we got Pike against Perry Meridian, Ben Davis taking on RONCALLI, North Central against Crispus Attucks, Brownsburg against Plainfield, and Franklin Central against Greenwood. The Zone Extra Ladies Night coming up for you. The Zone, that is 11:08. Right here on Wish TV, coming up tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. All right, folks. Hey, that's going to do it for the Zone Extra tonight. Anthony Calhoun once again. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. We greatly appreciate it. Hey, we'll see you back here next week. Same time, same place.